The threat from China looms large over the people of Taiwan.
60 Minutes took an on-the-ground look at how China is targeting the self-governing island. One of Beijing's most aggressive tactics is a constant barrage of cyber attacks. Correspondent Lesley Stahl spoke with a Taiwanese politician about the ongoing threat.
China, they try to annex Taiwan for past 50 years. They try all different kind of way. Maybe I can give you very concrete figures. There are 20 million cyber attacks per day.
What, per day?
Yes, every day.
Wang, who sits on Parliament's Foreign Affairs and National Defense Committee, took us to a high-security lab where engineers track those attacks.
This is Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay.
A small island, but we're proud of it.
The map shows the attacks from China in real time as they hit Taiwan.
And it's so close to China.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So is China hoping to defeat Taiwan without firing a single shot?
They dream like that.
They dream.
They desperately dream like that.
And 60 Minutes correspondent Lesley Stahl joins us now. Lesley, so lovely to actually have you here on set with Lilia and I. So how does a cyber war with China play out for Taiwan?
Well, it's insidious. You know, they know that they're getting 20 million hits a day. They know that there's a massive disinformation campaign going on people's favorite app sites. For example, while we were there, we were shown some of these, and they try to convince people of all ages who go on these sites that the United States will not support them, that they're all by themselves. It's kind of building a little terror among the people. If China can sow so much fear and create so much havoc by infrastructure attacks, hack attacks on the military and the government, they probably really could defeat Taiwan without firing a shot, in which case the Taiwan chip industry would not be destroyed, which would be one of their several main goals, would be to take over Taiwan and keep that chip industry, which is one of the main reasons they want Taiwan.
Right. I mean, this seems, and you mentioned it in the piece, that it was the chip shield, the idea that is this manufacturing company that is protecting from an aggressive attack. Lesley, I'm just curious, watching the piece, we're talking about such tension. And I know you were there for quite some time, quarantining, really absorbing after that how things were. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience there? Because it seems like tensions are so high, but people were living their normal lives.
Well, they've been feeling tension for, they say, 70 years, some say 50 years. China has been saying, Taiwan belongs to us, you're part of the mainland. And so this pressure campaign, including military pressure, has been a daily way of life for as long as anybody can remember. Now, when Nancy Pelosi visited and they staged an attack that demonstrated that they could surround the island and choke it off with a blockade, you would think that the fear would rise. We didn't feel that. Now, you know, you drop yourselves into a country for a week and you think you know everything that you're seeing. But you certainly couldn't feel any heightened fear. People were going about their lives, telling us wherever we went, oh, they're not going to attack us, and if they do, it's years away, which may be the case, but meanwhile, this daily barrage of hacking attacks, hitting the government with attacks, not attacks that shut down any infrastructure. They haven't done that at all. It's more this insidious business.
Well, that's so interesting because I also really appreciated in your piece that you talked about the sort of conventional warfare and the military equipment that's being purchased by Taiwan, and how it doesn't actually make sense with what China's doing and the way that we're seeing the war in Ukraine play out.
Well, they've changed. Now they want the same kinds of weapons that Ukraine wants. Ukraine has had a huge effect on the psychology in Taiwan. I think that the fact that they haven't exhibited fear is because it's really so overwhelming. the idea that if they attack, what can we do? But now they're watching Ukraine fight off a similar large, huge, massive country with nuclear weapons right there. And they're fending them off with the sort of smaller kinds of weapons. And so they've shifted. But the problem is they want the same kinds of weapons that Ukraine has, and the Americans don't have any left for them. They're sending everything to Ukraine as fast as they can make them. So they're in a vise. They're not getting what they now know they need. And by the way, they don't get aid. They pay for what they buy from us.
They have to buy everything, right?
They put out their own money, and they have spent already money, but they haven't received the orders yet. So they're in a difficult place. China, too, though, China, from what we can tell, does not want to wage a military attack. They want to do it without firing a shot.
And why is that? I mean, their military budget is hundreds of billions larger.
Well, the reason is they want to preserve that chip industry.
Chip industry, right.
And if they attack, you know, the company, the main company that makes these very high-end semiconductors, they have plants all over the entire island, and particularly along the coast, because they need water for what they do. And if they do a land attack, they're going to destroy those factories by definition. And so they would be shutting down the very company they're going after. So they're desperate, I would think, not to have a full-on invasion.
Yeah. And it's been so interesting seeing those parallels with Russia and Ukraine and
Exactly.
China and Taiwan and also Hong Kong.
I saw your piece on Japan, and it reminded me, and you mentioned it, that we were quarantined for 4 days. We were locked in a government hotel. I wouldn't call it a hotel. We were in jail for 4 days.
Wow.
And there was no maid service, for example. So we were given washing machine dryer units. But all the instructions were in Chinese. There was nothing written in English.
What do you do?
You don't ever. So you
Google
Translate. They gave us a big bed, so I slept on this half of the bed for the first 2 days, and that half of the side of the bed. And there was a very fancy toilet, very fancy Japanese toilet. But
Oh,
again,
the
all the
best.
instructions were in
With
Chinese.
all the gadgets.
Well, we didn't know what buttons to push. Even the shower, I had a lot of trouble figuring out how to get hot water. So it was 4 days of an ordeal.
Bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, definitely.
Leslie,
The food was wonderful once we got out of the
that
hotel.
is true. Absolutely.
Great food.
All right, Lesley Stahl, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.